What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video, and in today's video we're going to be playing the daily challenges. So obviously we're going to start off with Wordle. Let's jump straight into it, and we're going to begin with chart because, you know, that's our go-to word to start off with, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, rough start, I can't lie. There's only an A and it's not even the right place. So what do we do here then? Let's go with no. I was gonna go with plain, but that would not work. Daisy? Daisy's not a bad word, right? Because it checks for the D, it checks for the S, it checks for the I, but also the Y as well. Sometimes there occasionally is the Y at the very end, right? So I think this is a pretty good word for a second guess. So let's go with that, right? Daisy. Not so good. We have a D. It's not in the right place. The A is still not in the right place. So this makes me think that the A is here. Where's the D then? Maybe here? So, Oh, this is a difficult... a predicament. A pedal. Oh, hang on. Whoops. Pedal. Yeah? That's not a bad shout. Let's go with pedal. This is bad. Where's the A then? Surely the A has got to be at the front then, right? Wow, this is really interesting. So maybe it's a... does it end with a node? That's a word, right? Wait, hang on. That's a word. A node. Yeah, that's a word. An anode. Anode. That's it. An anode. That's a word, right? Yeah. Yeah? Let's go with anode. I think this is what. Let's just check. I'm not blundering, right? Yeah, let's go with that. We know the A is at the very front. We know the D probably is here. What if it's at the very end, though? It could be at the very end. This is a weird word. Look how many yellows we've gotten. Like, not easy, man. Not easy. Yeah, so maybe it ends with ND then. And then the E is here. And amend. Ooh, that's a cook. That's a cook. That's a cook, yeah. It's gotta be amend. Let's go with amend. And that was the word. Okay, that's not too bad. Yeah, amend. That makes perfect sense. I can't lie. That puts us at a current streak of 5, which is pretty good. And yeah, our guess distribution, it's alright. I'd say it's alright. But yeah, amend. Not a bad word. I can't lie. That's a fair word. It's just we got pretty unlucky with our guesses. With look how many yellows we've gotten. Oh, that's kind of rough. But you know what? We'll take that. We'll take that. Okay, jumping straight into today's Geo Hunter daily challenge. And we have an interesting mix of categories here. So we have least English percentage again, seafood consumption, dairy production, small size, vegetarianism percentage again, making its way into one of the categories. Longest serving head of state. I don't like that category. I'm not good with my longest serving head of state countries, right? Football, and then shipwrecks. So, with Brazil, we shall definitely go football, right? Least English percentage, I mean, they speak Portuguese in football, but I just feel like it's got to be football, right? Brazil, they're pretty good with their football. Seafood consumption, ooh, it might be up there, you know. Seafood consumption could be up there. Dairy production, no, I don't think so. Small size, it's the 5th largest country, so it's definitely not small size. Vegetarianism percentage, I don't think so either. Longest serving head of state, I've absolutely no idea. Like, okay, let's not overthink it. Let's just go football, right? Let's just go football. It was number 6, you know. Not a bad shout. Andorra. Oh, small size, surely, right? Andorra's a pretty small country. It's, you know, sandwiched in between France and Spain. I don't think it's least English. Probably not seafood consumption as well. Dairy production, probably not. Small size. It's just got to be small size, right? Longest serving head of state, I just I don't think so either. And then shipwrecks, well, Andorra's a landlocked country, so it's probably not shipwrecks. Let's just go with small size. It was number 17th. That's okay. That's okay. Norway. Ooh. Now with Norway, oh, shipwrecks. Or it's not longest serving head of state. I just don't think so. This longest serving head of state. I don't like that category one bit. I have like zero knowledge of that category, so we're just gonna have to like maybe push that towards the end. Or if we have like nothing else, that's good of a category, then we probably just pick that for whatever country shows up. Okay, anyway, it's not least English percentage. Seafood consumption, I can probably see that. I just feel like it's shipwrecks, you know. Yeah, let's go shipwrecks. It was number 9. That's pretty good. That's good. Japan seafood production consumption, right? Least might be least English percentage. It's probably not vegetarianism. Longest serving head of state, again, not really much of an idea. Yeah, seafood consumption, right? Surely. I'm thinking of all the, you know, Japanese dishes. Obviously, sushi's up there. There's a lot of seafood in sushi. Yeah, let's go with seafood consumption. It was number 14th. That's not bad. I feel like that should be higher. Anyway, Nigeria, it's definitely not least English percentage. Dairy production, probably not. Vegetarianism, probably not. Longest serving head of state, probably not for Nigeria, right? Whoa, this is a difficult country. I said that we'd pick longest serving head of state if the remaining categories we just have we're not certain about. But I don't think Nigeria has one of the longest serving head of states, right? This is tough. It's not least English percentage. Probably not vegetarianism. Dairy production, is that up there? Nigeria. No. What if we use our skip? I don't know if we should use our skip. Longest serving head of state. I just don't think Nigeria's the best pick for that, right? But then I could be tripping as well. Let's skip for dairy production. There's not that many cows in Nigeria, I would say. I'm tempted by a skip. Let's just skip Nigeria. The remaining categories are I'm just not too familiar with them. Marshall Islands. Great. That's fantastic. Oh, wow. So maybe Japan wasn't the best pick for seafood consumption. It was probably like... It might actually have been the longest serving head of state for Japan. I don't know why I chose seafood consumption. Okay, Marshall Islands, though. Probably not least English percentage. Probably not dairy production. Vegetarianism, probably not. And longest serving head of state, probably not as well. Least English... No, least English percentage. We can't go with that. We cannot go dairy production as well for Marshall Islands. No. We shouldn't go vegetarianism. Let's just go with the longest serving head of state. That's probably like 100 plus. But it's okay. My longest serving head of state knowledge is pretty poor, so let's just get that out of the way. It's 100 plus, but that's okay. That's okay. We just have to accept that. Italy. Dairy production, question mark? I don't think it's vegetarianism. It could be, you know. Nah. Ooh, nah. No, I don't think so. Least English percentage? Nah. I think Italians are pretty good with their English, I can't lie. Dairy production or vegetarianism? Should we do an eeny, meeny, miny, mo? Or should we just, like, go for one of them? I'm really uncertain here. Dairy production, let's just think for a second. I'd imagine that, you know, Italy's it's a very mild country. It's, like, it's right next to the Mediterranean Sea. Like, it's surrounded by it, right? And so the climate there's pretty good for agriculture. And of course, dairy production, I imagine, would be up there for Italy then, right? Let's go with dairy production. Number 13. We will take that. We will take that. We will happily take that. Romania. I don't think it's least English percentage. Now, here's the thing, what's the last country going to be then? If it's going to be least English percent, we're leaving that as the last category. It's a hit or miss then. Vegetarianism for Romania. I think we should go with that, right? Least English percentage, that's probably... Yeah, let's go with vegetarianism. I'm just not too certain, but let's just go for it. Come on. It's number 40, that's... it's okay. Bangladesh for least English percentage, though. That's gotta be up there, right? That's number 16. That's okay. 215, the target was 113. We went 102 over that. Not ideal. But you know what? Like, I think we'll take that. 200. It's just the Marshall Islands that cooked us, right? I can't lie. The Marshall Islands, that was the only country that cooked us. But other than that, you know, Romania is probably pretty poor as well. Like 40. That's not that good of a score. But the rest, we should take that, you know? The rest of the highest was only 17. I'm happy with that. And 38% accuracy as well. That's pretty good. I can't lie. That's pretty good. Taking a look at the perfect solution, well, Brazil, it would have been vegetarianism. Okay. Okay, I did not know that then. That's interesting. I will keep that in mind. Brazil for vegetarianism. Number 3. Football, I just feel like it was a safe guess, though. I can't lie. Football, number 6 for Brazil. I think that's acceptable. Andorra for small size, we nailed that. Norway for longest serving head of state. Yeah. That makes sense. I think I did call that out. But shipwrecks as number 9, that's also not that bad. Japan for shipwrecks, number 11. Yeah, I can see that. We chose seafood consumption instead, which I guess was okay. Nigeria for football. Yeah, Nigeria for football. That makes sense. Marshall Islands for seafood consumption. Yeah, see, Marshall Islands, it's literally an island nation, right? So their seafood consumption would be pretty high. That's fair. Italy for dairy production and Bangladesh for least English. We nailed that. Do you know what? That's not too bad. It's literally just the longest serving head of state that cooked us, so... Bit unfortunate, but it's alright. Alrighty, and we're gonna finish it off with today's Globle, of course. Let's get straight into it. And, come on, we're gonna start with Italy. Italy is our go-to country to start off with for the Globle. It's just situated in a very ideal location, I would say. So let's go with Italy. Today, it was, not the best guess. Not the best first guess. 7,000 kilometers away. That is pretty far from, like, everywhere. I can't lie. So, 3,000 kilometers was roughly the distance from Italy to Kuwait. 7,000, that probably pushes us to Asia then. Or, it might push... it might push us to Africa as well. I think that Americas is just too far away from Italy to be 7,000 kilometers away. So I think we can rule out North America and South America. That's the strat. Europe, I think, is entirely out. Europe's just too small. Italy is definitely within 7,000 kilometers of everything here. Africa, if it... Well, I mean, that's roughly 3,000 kilometers, so... I mean, it'd have to be pretty far south in Africa to be 7,000 kilometers away from Italy, right? I'm thinking probably a Zambia or something like that. Otherwise, I think Asia's a pretty good shout for a second guess. Now, where in Asia? So this was roughly 2,800 kilometers. That's actually not that far away from Italy. And then... I'd say, like, maybe Bhutan or Bangladesh is a good second guess. Let's go with Bangladesh, right? Or Bhutan... Yeah, let's go with Bangladesh. Because, let's go with Bangladesh. Bhutan probably doesn't give us many extra hints, right? It only tells us if it borders India or China. And it's probably unlikely that it's going to be either country because it's probably within 7,000 kilometers away from Italy. So, let's go with Bangladesh. Or actually, no, maybe Myanmar. Because Myanmar borders India, borders China, and it also borders Thailand. Yeah, let's go with Myanmar. I think Myanmar's probably a better guess than Bangladesh. It is probably 7,000 kilometers away from Italy, maybe slightly over 7,000 kilometers, but it's okay. We're gonna go for Myanmar. If it's not Myanmar, and Myanmar is further away, then we know it's in Africa. So let's go with that. Holy lock-in. Oh my god. I didn't pre-play this, by the way. What? Two guesses. Okay, this is what I did, right? I had to look at the closest border thing. It said 0 kilometers, so I was like, okay, Myanmar borders the country then, right? And then when I looked at the map, Myanmar was in green, and I was like, wait, we just got the country. Oh my god! 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 It cannot get any better than that. Let me tell you. Oh, what did we just do? That is crazy, bro. Oh my god, this is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. All right. Well, that was very, very successful. I think we had the best logic there. We had the best logic. Like, come on, we played that so well. We thought, okay, it could be Africa, but like for some reason, okay, I don't know why, but for some reason, I immediately went towards Asia. I think maybe the reason why I went towards Asia was because Kuwait is like in between the distance from Italy to Asia, right? So that if we just kept on going from Kuwait, then we'd hit. Oh my god! How did we do that? That is crazy. I'm still like trying to comprehend this. But I'm still trying to process this. We just got it in 2 guesses. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Okay. All right. Now, well, today's global. 2 guesses. We will absolutely take that. But guys, I think this is a good point for us to leaving it off on a very high note. Hope you guys did enjoy watching today's video. Again, as always, the links to Wordle, Geo Hunter, and Globle will be down in the description down below. So go and check it out if you want to have a play. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.